This poem is written by Taru Dutt, and the name of the poem is Sita. This poem is very small poem. However, there is a huge impact on the children whom the mother is narrating this. So I am going to share the overview and background of this poem. This poem presents a nostalgic story of Dutt's childhood and how she became emotional while hearing the heart-touching Sanskrit mythological tales from her mother. Though the title of the poem alludes to the heroine of Hindu epic Ramayana, this poem is completely based on the reaction of three children after listening to the second exile story of Sita. Taru Dutt uses vivid descriptions of the characters surrounding in order to portray the lush, enriching landscape of India. Now, let's understand this line by line. Sita, three happy children in a darkened room. What do they gaze on with vivid, open eyes? So there were three happy children in one of the dark rooms, and there they were sitting with their mother. Now they were looking at something by wide open eyes and they were gazing something. Now let's see what were they gazing at. A dense forest where no sunbeam rise, and in its center a clear spot. There bloom gigantic flowers on creepers that embrace tall tree. There, in a quiet lucid lake, the wild swans glide there whirring from the break. Now when the children were in the dark room and they were gazing at somewhere, so there was a dense, so the mother says, mother was sharing a poem in that she shares. There was a dense, very much dense forest which was like full of dark. And like even it was that much dark that even one ray of sunlight cannot even go inside. So it was that much dense. Then, but in between there was a clear spot. Now, in that space, there were no trees in that particular area, no trees, it was cleared, and that space was looking so beautiful. Now, why though that space was looking beautiful, Datta has shared in the poem. There bloom gigantic flowers on creepers that embrace tall trees. So that place, the clean place, there so many big beautiful flowers were there, and there were so many creepers were there who were embracing, who were beautifying the tall trees. There itself, there was another very clear, very shiny lake was also there. And in that lake, now poet beautifies it and says, in that lake, there were swans who were gliding and they were taking a break there and they were enjoying there. So poet wanted to say that that place was so beautiful and clear that it used to look like that place is of somebody. Now you'll get to know in coming lines that whose that place can be. Let's see whose that place can be. So Datta again shares another line. The peacock springs, their herd of wild deer race. Their patches gleam with yellow waving grain. Their blue smoke from strange altars rises light. Their dwells in peace the poet anchorite. But who is this fair lady? Not in vain. She weeps, for lo, at every tear she sheds. Tears from three pairs of young eyes fall amain. Now here the beautification, as the narrator was beautifying the space and narrating it in that way, mother was saying that that place was beautiful as there were so many gigantic flowers, um, and then creepers as well. Similarly, that place, peacock were also there. It was looking like that it was a spring, and also herd of wild deers were also there who were racing. So that place was looking beautiful, amazing, and the surrounding which was there, it was so gleamy. It was gleamy, glowy, and it was looking like as if the yellow waving grains were there. Also, as there were no lights, so the somebody must be cooking food, so it was like there was no light, only light was coming from a place which was of blue smoke, and from there only light was coming. There dwells in peace, and that place was looking so beautiful, so peaceful, and poet keep on sharing and says, but who is this fair lady? So children are imagining that time when mother is narrating this story. Now she asks, who is this fair lady? And then children started imagining in front of their eyes there was a picture. So she says, who is this fair lady? Not in a vain. And she is weeping, she is crying for low. And her every tear which was falling on the ground, even when her tears were falling on the ground. So children were so much into the poem that they also started crying because they were so much into that poem. And mother's narrating style of narrating is described, that she was narrating in such a well way that children imagined and they started crying. Let's see further lines. And bowed in sorrow are the three young kids. And when those three young kids were in sorrow, they were crying as mother was narrating the story. So they also felt so sad and they kept their head below because they were feeling sad about that particular lady who was Sita of Ramayana. It is an old story, and the lay which has evoked sad Sita from past is by mother sung. And the story which was of so much of past, she beautifully narrated in such a way that that past came directly in front of children's eye, and uh, and they also felt so sad, and it was the impact of the way mother was singing. Tis hushed at last and melt the picture from their sight away. And when mother saw it, she stopped there. And the time she stopped singing, uh, the picture which was in front of children's eye created by their mother, that picture started melting away, and that picture sighted away from the children. Yet shall they dream of it until the day. Yet, yet narrator is saying, yet that picture, that narration of the song, even if children are there, they will dream of it. When shall those children by their mother's side, and hope those children will still be near by their mother's side, gather a me erst at eventide, even if whenever it is a tide, they will be able to remember mother and the way mother sung the story or sung the poem, they'll be even able to remember that. So Datta was sharing this story because her mother narrated it, and after she passed away, and her two brothers also passed away. So while narrating this poem, Datta was becoming emotional and she was remembering her mother, and she also was remembering the two brothers who died. So she still feel and she is still able to remember the uh, poem narrated by her mother. So this is how story is ended. Thanks for watching the video, and I'm sure you like it.